Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Astral Calling here on twitch.tv/tabletop-rolls. Dun 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 dun. Bop. Welcome to tonight's episode. We have, of course, going to have some announcements before we do that. Cosmic Deity, thank you for the resub. Chat, it just crossed my mind. There is an entire booth at the convention that has just CDs of video game music, including all the Octopath music.
Fortunately, maybe a couple years back, Square Enix decided, what if we just put all of our music on streaming?
Oh, well, that's good. I'm very tempted by it because
They're just like, what if everything was just
oh,
accessible?
it's Switch, Matt and Rose.
Oh, I'm Luna.
Concerned. Why do I have
Screams.
so many legs?
All the
I'm
legs.
Sunshine personified, and
So
possibly
many
with a tragic
legs.
backstory. I don't know.
But before we get into our things,
What do you
announcements. Number one, Matt and I are at an anime convention this weekend. It's why Matt is in a room unlike their normal room.
I'd be mildly concerned if anyone pays that much attention to what room I'm in when I stream.
I mean, you
It's a
can
noticeably different room.
It is.
It is. There's no monster prom body pillow in the background.
I mean,
which
there
is
could have
deeply
been
disturbing.
Which
could
is
have
really
been
the only
so-
detail that
out
anybody
of
will
character.
ever think about.
There could have been so many different body pillows in the background now, though. There's a lot on sale. But hey, Matt
There's
and
no-
I are at
I could
Icon.
run and get a Zhongli one.
Matt and I are at Icon this weekend, so if you're from Winnipeg and are there, come say hi to us. Go up to Matt and be like, oh my god, it's Darius / Lorgar from Tabletop Rolls. I'm sure that would make their day. I know it would make mine hearing about it. But speaking of the anime convention, I got some stuff. Look at this lovely print by Brown Bunny. It's great. I love it. It's Star Rail artwork. Star Rail is replacing Genshin for me slowly, just because I'm kind of like
Heresy.
we don't play Genshin together anymore as much. It was so much more fun when we were all playing together.
I mean, wait till we get to Fontaine.
Something might change things.
Yes, once we have Phoenix
But both are
Fontaine.
good. Both are good.
Yeah, they're both good. I'm just falling more in love with Star Rail right now, but I think that's just because it has an auto battle feature, unlike Fate. So, announcements. Saturday, tomorrow, no stream. Next week, though, we'll be back. Next week, I swear to God, we will be back with Salt and Strategy. Then, Matt, could you possibly put yourself on the push to talk?
I just wasn't saying anything.
Sorry, it's just ironing sounds. Thank you. Then, on Sunday, not Stardew Sunday, but because Emily has a staff party for Icon, and Aubrey will probably be exhausted, but Sarah and I are going to do something probably. So I'll be talking to Sarah about that this weekend, and we'll figure it out. Monday, we're back this week with the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path. No one shot. Well, we are back to the main story with Matt GMing that. And Avi continuing to gather information on the important people of the city. And Igara continuing to make questionable life choices.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of questionable life choices, on Wednesday, if you missed last week's episode, go and watch that. It is a doozy and a very fun one, as our party met a very cool new NPC that Dee Dee took quite the liking to.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see McKenna be like, wow, I really am gay, there is a moment where that happens.
The gay panic?
It was great.
No.
No. Gotcha.
A gay disdain.
Oh.
I gave Rose.
Arguably more fun.
I gave them.
Thank you.
I gave the rest of the party like a really attractive man.
The simping was excessive. It's not the NPC I have an issue.
It's the simping.
It's the same thing. But speaking of that, then on Fridays you have the Astral Calling. It's what you're watching right now. But who are you watching? Why? The people that you come here to see. Let's start with someone who's in space right now. It's Chad playing Vim. How you doing tonight, Chad?
I'm doing all right. That's, surviving all the anime and anime related talk, and I'm still here. I'm still thriving.
Godspeed, my good bitch.
Godspeed. Speaking of surviving anime and anime-related talk, someone who I think would do very well if they were isekai'd, Matt playing Darius.
I don't know how to take that. I really
You
don't.
cringe.
Hello, everyone.
You go, ooh.
I saw arguments being made that The Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland count as like original isekai stuff, and I'm like,
No wonder
It
I
takes
like
5
Yes.
years off my life every
No.
time someone says that.
No wonder I like Alice so much.
Yeah.
it's an isekai.
It's an isekai.
Yeah.
It's a misekai for my isekai. Hey. Then, of course, we have... let's see who's next. Okay. We got McKenna up next, the person responsible for all of the lovely artwork you see here on the channel for character artwork and such. You can find them at McKenna Ray Art on TikTok. McKenna, did you post a fun TikTok before this? Did you eat more dice?
No, but I did I posted TikTok, not about eating dice.
Oh,
That was a fun one though.
that was a very fun one. I really liked that one.
I'm pleased with the response that one is getting.
Oh, that's good. Also, hypothetically, chat, if there were to be buttons of the character artwork, would that be something that would be interesting? Let me know. Then, last but certainly not least, everyone's favorite space bunny, Luna, played by Rose.
You had such a good tie-in with the Alice stuff. Like, you could follow this rabbit down the rabbit hole into literally anything. I was so shocked you did not take that easy.
I
That easy one.
Read him for filth.
head empty, no tots.
I mean, that is Luna's way of life.
Tater
I cannot
tots.
blame you. Ooh.
I heard you.
Now I want potatoes.
There was
So
there was
fair.
an artist next to Emily, who did like a parody of the Barbie movies with different anime characters, and there's a Bakugo with like the Ken in the Ken pose and a Deku in the Barbie pose, and I found that humorous. But I think that's all of our announcements. We are going to be down a rash for a few weeks as they are doing a play with a fabulous Greek chorus, I assume. I think this is the Greek one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're doing a play in LA. If you're in LA, go see
I think they're
Rash's...
playing Hippolyta.
Yes, go see Rash's play with a theater company that I should remember the name of, but I don't because I'm a bad friend. Hopefully Rose and McKenna...
Ensemble, isn't it?
Loft Ensemble. Thank you, Rose,
I
for
guess.
being a better friend than me.
Well, I do live 5 minutes from my friend Maya, who I invited to
Yeah,
join
y'all
us for
y'all
this
can
game.
walk to each other's houses.
I can and have.
So those are all of the announcements. Those are all the player introductions. Hi there, I'm Will, also known as Tabletop Roles on the internet. I run games. Hey, pay your writers. Don't use AI for background. And, fuck right off. Anyway, time for us to roll that intro. Last time on the Astral Calling, our party found themselves homeward meowed as they were returning Darius and Nito to their homeworld. What?
Smiling like that.
Did not enjoy that pun this time around.
That was good. And when they arrived, things quickly began to escalate. What they thought was going to be like a quick drop-off in conversation between Darius and Nito's family turned into a, hey, there are children missing. Upon hearing this, Rash was like, well, we need to deal with this. And the party was like, yeah, we should probably help out with this. And Darius was also looped in on it. After being gifted a magical new sort of wedding earring from Nito's family, very utilitarian with the ceremony spells permanently enchanted on it, our party found themselves coming up with a plan after Luna, Evie, and Vim and Rash had a tour of the monastery to try to figure out, hey, how are these kids getting kidnapped? So they decided that that evening they were going to do the Scooby-Doo classic of dressing Rash up as a child.
Oh yeah, that classic Scooby-Doo move where they have a goblin grandmother dressed up as a small child.
Well, it was,
I'm very
it was,
I remember
concerned.
that episode.
It was Scrappy
I'm
Doo
very
that they did it with, but
I'm very concerned that we're putting Rash in the role of Scrappy Doo. That
Yeah,
doesn't
that's a
sit
little
right with me.
insulting.
I mean, listen.
Rash
Who's
becomes
the one who's gonna say
Maybe
da da
we're-
da 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 da? Let me at him, let me at him, and in this party? Who's the tiny angry one?
One could argue that we're taking that role and improving upon it with a more
Oh
suitable
no!
candidate.
Wait, are we the Scooby Gang? Is Edie
Dibs on
not
Velma.
Velma?
Dibs on
Is-
Velma.
Is Luna not Daphne? Is
Vim is Fred because
Darius not-
because traps, and then
That makes
Say-
Darius Shaggy, and I don't agree with that.
No, Scooby.
I think Vim is
Four
Shaggy.
legs.
Vim is Shaggy.
I think Vim is Shaggy.
So at some point we're
Yeah.
going to
Vim's the
have
one who would be in the kitchen eating something questionable.
so there's going to be a relationship between Vim and Evie at some point. Even though they're kind of-
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Evie is canonically
Lesbian.
into women.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so
An
As,
artist.
as is Velma.
I'm so confused because I haven't seen a quote unquote like new-ish episode of anything Scooby-Doo since probably the 90s.
Oh, you
Oh,
should.
there's
Mystery
a lot
Inc.
of
is good.
Scooby-Doo content.
You should.
Mystery
You should
Inc.
go.
is really good.
You should go and watch Mystery Inc. Chad.
Mystery Inc. is really good.
Yeah.
Also,
And
fan
it's on
artists.
streaming.
I want to see Vim
Oh, I might,
with an
I
ascot.
might take this one. Shoot.
An ascot, that'd be weird.
Where'd it go? Does he have a neck?
I don't know.
I mean,
Artist of tabletop roles. Does he have a neck?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. They're Velma, Daphne, and Shaggy Fred. That's fair.
Agreed.
I was more taking a shot at like the arc in Mystery Incorporated where Velma and Shaggy dated for a bit.
And they did, but they quickly broke up.
They quickly
At,
broke up.
like the beginning of the show. That was like episode 1. They broke up.
Yeah.
You
I
could say
just
arc. It was an opening premise that was quickly dashed.
listen.
And then Velma also picked up a girlfriend that they weren't allowed to say was a girlfriend back then,
Yeah.
but absolutely was.
Hot dog water. FTW.
Oh, I know that is what they call her, but I believe her name was Marcy.
I've not watched it in so long I can only remember the nickname still. Anyway, that's what happened last time. Yes, the most sapphic streams on the tabletop sphere. Although we might be getting beaten out soon on that front.
Okay, we have to get more gay.
We need to
Okay.
get more gay.
Bring on the lesbians. Let's go.
We need more
You
lesbians.
find Rash a granny girlfriend.
That'd be so cute.
Maya, if you're watching this later,
We
I
go
got
like
you.
the gay Grace and Frankie with Rash. I'm here for it.
okay, y'all, we do have a game to play. I think.
I'm letting y'all vibe. This is all good with me.
This is important world building.
This is
Yes.
important world building.
I don't know.
So, fake child bait. That sounds weird, but there's no other way to put it.
I mean, better than
There are,
using
I think,
a
other
real
ways to
child,
put it.
right?
Yes, but I believe our plan was to use Rash as a decoy and see if whoever is responsible for the kidnappings takes the bait.
Cautious. I do have two concerns.
Yes.
First, do we have anyone in the party who is confident in their ability to be able to pursue a kidnapper across possibly rooftops or difficult terrain? And second, if we don't have that, do we perhaps have some way of tracking the abducted, not a child? In fact, the oldest member of the party, actually, possibly. So very much not a child.
I am pretty good at jumping.
Out of character, not yet be good at following people. Eventually, maybe. In character, I mean, I could probably like track something down. Probably.
Given enough time to prepare, I could do a number of things. First of all, I do have Expeditious Retreat, which would allow me to move quickly if we needed to be in pursuit of something. Theoretically, I could remove one of my infused items and work on some sending stones. I could send one with Rash, though it would leave me a little bit more vulnerable.
I'm also concerned in that any sort of plan that relies on Rash is making the assumption that she will not be incapacitated by whatever process is the abduction.
Of course, we need layers to this plan. Let me see what else I could theoretically prepare. Maybe alarm? I could prepare the alarm spell. That might... I mean, if we wanted to set a trap and not necessarily follow them all the way back to wherever their base is, that would be helpful.
Depending on how long it would take to follow them, I could get up into the air and follow them for a little while.
I could also prepare jump if we're worried about rooftops. Snare, maybe.
I'm raising this as a good point. Actually, I hadn't considered the idea that rather than attempting to pursue them, we simply capture the person who's come to make the abduction. That is a viable alternative.
Yes, I think that might be a decent plan. Snare and alarm in conjunction with one another are decent. I can also make myself invisible, so I could at least hide that way.
I have a net.
You have a net?
Yes.
That could be useful.
And just to be sure, we're like 100% sure these kids aren't just running away, right?
Evie sort of looks to Darius like,
maybe they did not like...
I can't imagine why any child would be interested in fleeing from a monotheistic or a monastic lifestyle. We have all the wonderful fish gruel they could drink. We have hours of solitary prayer. It's a child's wonderland here.
50-50 then. Okay, got it.
At the very least, we could catch a fleeing child this way, as well as potential kidnappers. So this plan, I think, is pretty solid.
Then we can interrogate the child until why they're running, and if they're running towards something, maybe they're being lured away and not being captured.
Precisely.
Okay, so,
there could be someone promising them, and Evie kind of looks to Darius, more fish gruel.
That would have to be a lot of fish gruel.
It is possible, though. That means that I could not do it tonight, though. I would have to spend the evening preparing the prerequisite spells for a plan like this.
I mean, I'm kind of tired anyway, so yeah, probably good.
Yeah, hey Vim, make me a con save.
Last time it was a wisdom save.
No, it's a con save.
It was a con save last time too.
Vim, mark me another point of exhaustion.
Oh, fuck.
By a little tired, I'm like really tired.
Oh, well, then maybe you can spend tomorrow sleeping as well.
Obviously, you need to have some more of the fish gruel.
Yes, you could always have...
Wait, I don't know. I had some of that. Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe they poisoned me.
That is possible. Do you think they know?
Wait, do you think they know what?
what we are?
Oh. Okay, well, I gotta say, if they know what we are and they decided to poison me, then we are definitely finding a group that's going to worship us and inciting a holy war.
Yes.
It's
Agreed.
it's the only way to it's the only way to
Nito
reconcile
looks
this.
concerned.
It's the only way to reconcile this conflict.
I don't think I can deal with if you've been poisoned. I don't think I can purify that yet. But I have been working on it.
I can't.
Might be worth a try if we're about to take a long rest anyway.
Okay, are you ready, Vim?
Yeah.
And she just puts her hand on your head for like 5 seconds. As you get 5 points of lay on hands, so neutralize poison.
Quick
I don't
question,
think you're
Will.
poisoned, but if you are, you're not anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
What would I roll? Like, what skill or knowledge thing would I roll to possibly figure out what's happening with him?
Nature with disadvantage.
Okay, I don't think I can set disadvantage on this app, so I will just roll it twice and take the lowest one.
Watch this be the time Matt double nat 20s.
As he should. As he should.
All right, so that's a 7, so that's probably going to be the low roll.
Oh, it might be lower.
Well,
Don't count yourself out.
yeah.
Nope, 17.
No idea. Vim's just looking tired. You know, it's been... Sometimes when you're on a new planet, the gravity gets to you.
Mm.
Right? And
The space lag.
yeah, maybe Vim's little bug nubs just aren't strong enough for the gravity.
Oh.
But considering the second level exhaustion means your speed is halved, and my speed's normally 25, which the way 5e works means it's now 10.
Oh. That's so bad. You're so slow.
Be a transformation in a level, and we're going to turn that right around.
Nice.
Yeah, so sleep sounds good.
Yes, you sleep. I'll prepare. Alarm and snare is what we're going with.
I think so, and I could still get in the air in a way that I probably wouldn't be noticed
Wouldn't be nervous about what?
if I up in the air where I could maybe see if something is coming.
Okay, we
Something
could
is
do that.
coming.
Oh, and did you want me to make the sending stones? Do we think that that is a good use of our resources?
As a just in case thing, that's probably a good idea.
Sounds good. I will do that as well. Okay, so I have my work cut out for me.
Okay. So, are y'all going to rest for the night then?
Yes.
Is Rash going to go and dress as a child and go to sleep in the children's barracks?
No.
Not for tonight. We're setting up for the next night.
All right. That night, Vim,
Yeah.
you get a little dreamy dream.
Oh.
Okay.
No level of exhaustion. Now, you lose all those.
Okay.
But for a short time, Vim, when you go to sleep, you open your eyes like you were waking up from a dream. And you are in a lush, beautiful Feywild. And basically right behind you is a door to what you once knew as home.
I wouldn't even hesitate. You just go inside to see what's inside, who's inside.
Waiting for you inside is Mother Myrtle.
Oh.
There's like the slightest bit of hesitation because he knows this might just be like, I don't know. Well, with Vim, it's less that he thinks it's a hallucination, more that he thinks it's a trick.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not real.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Vim, I'm glad you are awake. You fell asleep on the stoop. It must have been a bright, sunny day.
I mean, we always have the stars and everything out here. This is really confusing.
You've been asleep for some time.
What? How long? A long time?
Before we go any further, I realize I should say this. Trigger warning for anyone who has like fear of not knowing if you're awake or not. Just going forward with this.
Fair.
Yeah.
Those inception phobics.
That is
That's a
actually
real thing.
It is actually a real thing. One of the people I played with, their name was
Ah.
Alice, had the fear of that phobia. But continuing, a very long time, a number of hours at least. I almost have dinner ready.
Okay. This is gonna be a weird question.
Yes.
Maybe. Who's Dr. Telatio?
She stops for a second. A person that you need pay no mind to. They did not believe in you. I believed in you. Just like all of his experiments before, what did he do? He abandoned us, Vim. And now it's just me and you. He took the child that we had made, and he left off to new experiments that he thought would be more successful. I must be completely honest with you, Vim. You are not technically my child.
Well, I mean, I kind of knew that. I mean, I'm obviously we're not the same things, but that was never an issue. This is just
You are not even a child of this Feywild. Vim, you are a miracle of sleep.
that. That's a title I'm going to keep in mind.
A creature who was dreamt in another place, brought here by myself and our doctor's efforts.
What other place?
Another universe entirely. But the thought of you was born here. And she points to a plant. That's been, like, you always thought was just, like, part of the house, like a chair.
Yeah.
That pod, we used it to connect to the dreams of another universe. And from that seed, you grew.
Does that... I probably wouldn't have thought of it before, but does that plant look like the crazy plants at all, or does it look completely different?
It looks very different.
Very different. Okay.
It has like a purple petal and like a dark green stem. Like it's very different.
Oh.
I was going to tell you of this sooner, but things became complicated.
Yeah, there's a lot of levels to this because I'm really confused and wasn't sure if we would be able to have a conversation again, so I didn't really think about what I would ask you.
Well,
but
I am here now, and I am ready to answer as many of your questions as I can. And we have some time.
I guess I'm confused about how this works because I was just with... Actually, I was with one or two of maybe his other experiments. That He
You must
also
be aware that Doctor, he has no interest in you, Vim. If he is not actively working on an experiment, he abandons it. Leaves
Oh no,
it to defend him.
Oh no, he's a dick. I get that. Like I'm not with them because I like him or want. I mean, I'm trying to get one of them around on that. She's not quite there yet, but I'm getting her there.
You must be careful, Vim. If they are one of the newer experiments, there is a risk that upon deviating in loyalty, they will become no more.
I don't think that's well, I don't know because the other one got weird. So I don't know if that was deviating if she deviated loyalty and then got mad at us, or if it was all a ploy from the beginning. So I can't say on that one.
Anything after you, I would assume, would have the fail-safe. I ran into one of his experiments a while ago, and once they learnt of the Doctor's personality and decided to work against them, they began to deteriorate quickly.
What experiment did you run into?
They were a life form that was meant to be made of the Astral Sea.
Weird.
However, upon a discussion with them, and when they learned of the Doctor's true nature, they quickly began to collapse in on themselves and became much more destructive.
I'm trying to think back. Does Vim know at all the timeline, at least between him and Evie?
I believe we discussed that there was
There
were 2 to 4 experiments between you two.
Because Vim picked. So he kind of is aware that, but he also knows that for Luna there were like a lot of them.
If Luna's an experiment.
Well, if Luna's an experiment, which is where. Did you work with him on an experiment, I guess? The woman with rabbit ears and
I have not worked with the Doctor. I have not worked with the Doctor since he deemed you a failure, but I believed in you, Vim.
Well, I don't know if she was before or after me because I think there were a lot of her, like backups.
I do not know, Vim. I apologize.
Oh.
Here, come. Let us eat. Let us enjoy the company and the time we have together. I have been saving a little gift for you.
Am I going to be like? Will I go back?
I believe so. Perhaps when you sleep, you will dream again. Here, Vim. And she opens up this little box, and inside of it is a third finger.
Just a little gift.
Got another one.
And Vim, your thieves' tools are now considered magical and get a +1.
Fantastic.
Out of context, that is such a weird comment.
Gonna have to practice using 3 of these, but we'll get it. I'll volunteer. Everybody,
you have to work your way up to 3.
everybody loves them. Everybody loves seeing them. Everybody loves seeing me use them to unlock locks. They're all big fans.
That I'm now imagining Vim using these like Zoro from One Piece. One in the mouth and then... Anyway.
In the mouth.
Yeah, because Zoro fights with the sword in the mouth and the two swords.
Oh yeah, that famous thing that Zoro does. Definitely not the Zoro you were thinking of.
One
No,
Piece.
it's definitely the one from One Piece, he said.
Yeah.
Don't you mean Zolo?
Oh, right.
That's just a bad translation.
All right, so, Chad, Vim is given dinner, and basically Mother Myrtle says, "Now let us rest. It's been a very long day, and though you've taken a nap, I can tell you need some sleep, Vim."
Been really tired lately. Everything's felt weird, and you, I know that everybody else thinks thinks that I'm a little out there, but things have been really out there lately.
Well, perhaps a good night's rest will do you some good.
And perhaps as a reason why he never goes to his room in the ship, Vim just kind of sleeps somewhere in the house. Like Vim's always slept in the forest or in the house somewhere. There's like the kind of common shared room, and then there was Mother Myrtle's room, which he did not go into. Which is also why he doesn't go into other people's rooms. But he doesn't keep a room for himself.
Vim, as you start to like curl up on the floor, you feel like Mother Myrtle, and this is something that she would do sometimes from time to time. You see her just like drape a moss blanket over you. And yeah, Vim, as you go to sleep, you wake up with no points of exhaustion in the room with your friends, and in your hands is a third finger.
Gonna bring this out at a appropriate moment for all the fanfare I'm sure will happen. Put it with the other. And then he thinks, damn, I should have figured out where this one came from. The other two came from one guy. I don't know where this one came from.
No, you can tell it's the same guy.
Oh, it's the same guy?
Yeah.
She was holding out on me. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
There's like a somewhat story to it. He actually Vin said kind of the vague over things of a story of it, but the basic story is a thief who wanted to give up the life because he couldn't have a normal life. Because he was so talented at stealing, so he goes to a hag, and that's how she takes his skill from stealing and people coming to bothering him to steal for them. Is she takes his fingers.
One day you will meet Johnny Four Fingers.
Well, now he's got. Oh, geez, did she take 6 of them? Well, that's an odd number,
Well,
but I
if you have
respect the
10
hustle.
And you've lost 3.
Which means
It's Johnny's
Which-
7 fingers.
Well, unless there's
Johnny
3,
Four Fingers.
unless
Johnny
there's
Four
3
Fingers.
more
Still
that were
2 more.
taken.
That
She's
tells
still
me that there's still 2 more fingers for
Yeah.
you to get.
well, no, there's
3
3
more
more
fingers?
fingers.
3 more fingers for you to get.
We are playing a game that involves a lot of math. How are we so bad at this?
There are 3 more fingers,
Because I was up at 5:30 is why.
Oh.
Jeez.
but he respects the hustle. That's like, oh, I'll take 6 of your fingers. So he just slips that in a little pouch with the other ones.
Nice. Yeah, and Vim, you're like fully rested. You're feeling good. You're fully awake. None of the exhaustion's there anymore.
All right, yeah, he's busted out, seeing what everybody's up to.
Everyone else, you had a good evening. Darius, Nito, and you went back to like your old sort of quarters where you spent the evening in prayer. And yeah, to be fair, Evie, when after one point you hear like a bell ring, and like one of the acolytes comes in and just says, "Yes, for the next hour, the entire monastery will be praying. So please keep yourselves down."
I'm thinking I need to step out of this place for a bit, give people some
Sometimes
privacy.
we all just to get together and pray in the same room all at once.
If they pray
I think we should go get coffee or ice.
We should get the disguise for Rash.
Can the
We need to go
coffee
get
have
the
whipped
disguise
cream
for
on it?
Rash.
Yes.
Do y'all
Okay, great.
do y'all during the prayer hour want to head out to go explore the town a bit?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So
Unsupervised exploration.
I'm just saying, you guys,
That's
you're
not
more
here
than
to say
welcome.
no.
You're more than welcome to join in the prayer. It can be a bit strenuous, but
No, thank
Some
You
things are
do-
meant to be between
the-
you and your wife.
the
Darius. We will go.
do warn you that the prayers for the spark of creation, if you are not used to it and go for too long, it can make you go blind.
Second time you've tried to make that joke today.
Yes.
I know,
He
but-
made it
That's-
also in the
that's a
chat if you're
myth.
watching this on YouTube. Yeah, I'm Darius is busy. That means no one can tell me Evie. That's an irresponsible decision. So I'm gonna go out and make some irresponsible decisions, maybe, or maybe I won't.
All right. So
quick question.
yes,
Is Rash still with us?
Rash is still with you.
We didn't dress her up like a kid, so
So Evie, who are you taking with you on your adventure?
probably Luna and Bim.
The irresponsible trio.
All right. Rash is
Yeah.
going to go and poke around the monastery's kitchen.
As she should.
So the three of you exit the monastery, and it's a beautiful morning. Everything's nice. There are Mau walking around the streets. You see Mau walking these like strange two-legged creatures on like leashes. It's like the equivalent of a Mau dog, but it's like 2 legs and a mouth.
Horrifying.
Yeah, those things are something else.
And yeah, it's kind of just like a generally gorgeous sort of city. Now you're like in the daytime of it. You see like a lot of the buildings are very like artistically beautiful. Like the architecture is very unique and very complex. You come across what appears to be a massive wedding pavilion. It has like this like beautiful outdoor garden that has like these sculptures and filigree going throughout it. Incredibly beautiful lattices. And it looks like there is a Mau wedding happening there right now. Vows are being exchanged. People are sitting in chairs. Mau are clapping. And it's just like a very gorgeous sight.
How do Mau sit in chairs?
There are special
Excellent
Mau
question.
chairs that are basically like stools.
Where
I
does
was
the
thinking.
stool go?
I would think for.
That raises more questions, actually.
Yeah,
Does
you
it,
just.
like, do they rest their belly on the stool?
Yeah, they rest
Like,
their
what
belly
is
on the
it?
stool.
Oh,
Like,
I was
think
thinking it'd be like
think
the hind legs or something, and then you just kind of sit up on the front ones.
Think like an Egyptian chair. And they're just kind of like sprawled out like a cat would do.
I'm
on it.
Oh, like the
picturing
long.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yami
The long
Yugi's
kind of-
throne.
Yeah,
Like a chaise lounge?
yeah,
Oh,
that
is
sounds
that what
right.
they're talking about?
What did you call it? An
Like-
Egyptian?
Like one of those
Chair?
long Egyptian chairs.
You do see it. You do see it in like
Like Cleopatra
things that are
climbing on
depicting.
one?
Yeah, like the
the-
Cleopatra
so I
lounging
get like where the
couch.
reference is coming from.
I need to look this up.
Like
Please continue.
like okay, imagine circle, right? Circle, cushioned circle, chair that is cushioned, another cushioned circle.
Yeah, Google results for Egyptian chair are not.
No. I don't think he was saying that was
Cleopatra,
the
I think, is a
name of
little
it. He was
closer.
just like making a reference to.
I think this might be a Willism.
Oh,
Well-
I think so too. I think you're talking about a chaise lounge, which does seem like something Elizabeth Taylor as Cleopatra would have thrown
You-
herself upon.
It's been shown
Um,
in like media that are depicting, historical accuracy here or there. It has been shown in depiction, so I get where the reference is coming from. I don't think the idea is that that's the
Yeah,
actual
like
name
a
of it.
chaise lounge. A
But
chaise
it's
lounge
just-
would
Okay,
be very
thank you.
appropriate. Yeah, I googled it. Yeah, a chaise lounge would be very appropriate. Yeah, there's like an ancient Egyptian style chaise lounge. But think that, but Art Deco.
Can I think of the
Okay.
one here that's shaped like a high heel?
Yeah,
In the costume. It's a chaise lounge.
that works.
It's the Barbie chaise lounge. Let's go.
And yeah, there is
$100 on Wayfair.
It is all kind of just gorgeous as you're looking through the city. You see a number of happy Mau. You see a number of people walking through the streets. If people want, you can make me perception checks. Evie, is there anything in particular you're looking for? Like coffee place?
I mean, we do need to get things to dress Rash up like a kid.
Mhm.
So I will make a perception check with that. That's a nat 1.
Evie, you start looking around, and you're like, you start looking around. Maybe you ask a few Mau where you can find children's clothing, and no one really answers. No one's really able to answer you. Like, no one has like really any great ideas. And then like you're walking by this like really sketchy alleyway.
Oh boy.
And then you just hear this voice. You looking for children's clothing, I hear?
Yes. Correct. We were.
Ah, excellent.
Or gift.
Well, we have quite the selection of it at my little boutique.
Oh, wonderful. Where is that?
It's right down this alleyway.
Are you? Is it,
perfect.
wait,
Okay.
is this? Are you about to try and like mug us or something? You got somebody down that alley? What are you thinking?
Excuse me, my
So
good sir. Are you
that's
planning
why-
on mugging
It's
us?
where my shop is.
Luna is walking
Like,
down
is
the
he
alley.
full of shit? Like Vim?
Make me an
This is
insight
this
check.
is where Vim would rob somebody. So he's gonna assume that.
Make me an insight check.
21.
I mean, this person does seem really sketchy.
I'm
Yeah, yes, come, ma'am. Come. Allow me to show you to my shop.
no, don't wait.
Yes,
wait.
yes. It's right here. Oh,
Hey,
now we just have to
Damn,
walk
come
down
on.
these stairs into this
Okay.
darker part of the alley.
Oh,
Is
that
there,
to
like,
keep the
any
cost from
signage?
sound damage?
There's no signage yet.
Vim's crossbow is out and pointed at this person as we're walking in. It's like so. If we walk in here like this,
Yes.
is there somebody else
I mean,
that I'm gonna
please-
have to
please
talk
put
to?
your weapon away. This is a shop, and they like
I
open
don't
the
think
door,
it
and
doesn't look like a shop.
inside of
Yeah.
the door there is a shop filled with children's clothes.
Wow, Vim, don't be rude.
Yes, please come in. Business is slow today, but this is one of the most hopping boutiques in the planet.
I just wanted to say I feel there's a missed opportunity here for Mau has wares if you have coin.
No,
Oh God.
I am saving that one, Matthew.
Well, I do have coin, ergo.
No.
I go into the store.
It's like
I
a
wanna start
lovely.
looking around.
There's a whole bunch of like really nice like Art Deco style clothing.
We're shopping at Crossbow Point here. I just want everybody to know that Vim has
I
not
now
put his
have to
crossbow.
Google Art Deco children's clothes just to see
Yeah.
what the heck.
Well, think like Art Deco.
I think
clothing,
that would be
like an Art Deco clothing style
hilarious.
but children's.
We're just throwing a lot of stuff together.
I mean,
here,
I'm
that's all.
picturing tiny children flapper dresses
Yeah.
right now.
No, like
so-
literally, yeah. Except more like add like a little bit more like fabric to it, so it also has like a little Grecian influence.
Okay,
A flapper
okay.
stola.
throwing-
Yeah,
I'm
like a
here
flapper
for
stola.
it.
Yeah.
It's got the fringe, so you know it's real nice.
Yeah. And there's like a variety of styles and effects, and like the Mau that's like running the store. Yes, I hand sew everything myself.
Wow.
Most of it is made by me. The fabric is ethically sourced. It's all it's quite the process. I am quite the artisan. I do not get a crazy amount of business though. I've never been able to figure out why.
It is the location.
Yes.
Oh, and the way you invite people in, like you're going to harvest organs.
No.
I have an issue with that actually.
Oh, I wonder why. The organless being here didn't have an issue with the person that seemed like an organ harvester.
But yes, your location, the interior of your store is lovely. The exterior of it is dark and unfriendly.
Yes, it is very difficult, though, to get space on this station, on this planet even. Many people, many old organizations don't give up their land easily. Anyway, I should stop moaning and
maybe.
I should sell you my wares. Come,
Maybe
enjoy.
clean it up, light up this alleyway more, so people
so
when they walk down
atmospheric.
here,
Oh, you know, what would
they
be
don't
very
think they're
cute
gonna be
is
disappeared.
A sign outside would be very
Yes. Signage would be helpful.
Sign. Maybe I'll do a sign. Yes, I like that.
And maybe have a name for your shop that the sign is visible, and when you invite people to your shop, you invite them to thing, not
the
just
shop,
say, "Oh, you want things? I've got a little space
the shop
over
is
here."
the shop is named the shop is after the shop has a name. It's after my last name. It's called Shady's.
Okay, change that as well. We're doing a ground up renovation here for you.
You know,
Yes.
as much as I am happy that you as random customers are invested in the future of my business,
You
I
would
would-
prefer if we bought something.
I
May I
would
ask
very
what
much
your
like
name is?
my name.
It is Shady.
Well, that is my
Your
last
first
name.
name.
Slim.
No, no, I am far too rotund to have such a glorious title. No, my name is Fabrici. Fabrici Shady.
You should call the store Fabrici. That's a much more elegant name for a clothing
I think
brand.
that would come off more appealing. How did your family go this long without changing that last name? That's curious.
Well, my family is a very long family of merchants. At one point, I had a ancestor who would go about selling stories.
I mean, long line of shady merchants. Okay.
Yes, we are the Shady Merchants. We were very well known for a long time.
You know what? I don't have a last name, so what do I know?
That's true. Neither do I.
I do have a last name, but I picked it.
Aww. Anyway, we need a full outfit for a roughly 3-foot tall child.
Oh, yes. Would you like something a little bit more on style? Something a little bit last season, current season? What are we looking for here?
Something very what you would expect a general child in this area to wear.
Well, I mean, it depends on the child. If they are in one of the
What
more
would, like, very
artistically...
common.
It should be pink.
If
very
they are
common.
in one of the more artistically minded monasteries,
No.
then
Not
we can
They
go
are
with
not.
something there.
Not
are
artistic.
Are they part of a monastery? If you tell me the monastery, I can suggest some things for you.
They are part of the monastery with the hammer in the logo.
Oh,
Like the spark.
yes, they
All
all
about that
spend
spark.
they all spend a lot of time praying there. Here, I can,
meditating.
A lot
A
of
lot.
time.
It's just-
I'll
praying.
get them.
It's just
Is this
praying
a
and
Mao
fish
child, a
scroll.
humanoid child? What are we going with here?
humanoid.
It is a
Humanoid.
Yes.
All right. I will put something together. They do spend a lot of time in prayer on that, so we want a fabric that can stretch to the various positions that they pray in. Let's see. And they eventually come back with this nice toga. This nice
fringe toga.
for
With
Rash.
sequins.
It's pink. I did find
Well, pink
something
goes
with a
good with
little
green.
bit of
It's gotta be
color
in
to it.
pink.
I will warn you, some of the rituals that particular monastery takes place in have a lot of you see them freeze for a moment as they're trying to think of the best way to say this. A lot of pyrotechnic activity.
Yes.
So
Hey, I all
tried to
about
do
that.
something a little bit more basic, something that won't catch fire too close to heat for too long. And there's also, there's also a lot of friction and rubbing, so we keep it there.
Okay, the only rituals we're really interested in right now
Blacksmithing.
are kidnapping, trapping, and maybe murder. So that's the only things that we're
Kidnapping.
working on.
Are you the people kidnapping children? You're not
No,
now.
no.
Somebody make me a persuasion check.
I will
Someone
make it.
else, yeah.
I will make the persuasion check.
I can make them too. I don't.
This is fair, but you opened your mouth first and got us into the maps. I'll make one.
Persuasion.
21.
What does Luna say?
Oh, no. We are not the kidnappers. We are trying to catch the kidnappers.
Good enough for me. That will cover my ass if the guards ask anything. Cool.
That was, yeah. Out of character, that was shockingly easy. You think he might have more of a moral qualm with that.
With a last name like Shady, you have to accept quite a bit.
We can purchase this. I like this. This is good for what we need it for. However, I would like to let you know that in the future, Fringe is not exactly top of the line for lab and forge safety. This is going to catch on fire.
Well, that's
it
why
is
we
going
have a
to...
very slight fringe only. I wanted to make it a little bit fashionable. Anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
These clothes, are they going to... How thoroughly are they going to disguise?
I mean, they would fit a child, and they would make.
They would fit, yes, but how clearly are you going to be able to see the child's, let's say, head?
Oh, it's that ritual. Well, if you'd like, there is the appropriate veil for it.
Veil.
Yes.
Sounds great. I don't care what that ritual is. I just want the yes. We need the veil too.
Yes, it is the joining smelt ritual.
Sure, that's a favorite of somebody's, I'm sure.
Brings you
Smelt.
Brings you a veil.
I really hope that's not like some weird sacrifice thing, but like that's not really our problem right now.
It is a ritual where it is the child's first smelt that they put together the two pieces of metal and join them together.
And they are asked to do this with a veil obscuring their vision?
Yes, you were meant to... they practice it. They worked for many years just hammering and praying until they can do it with their eyes closed. So the veil is meant to represent that symbolically.
Oh,
It allows them to do it with... there was a time where they had to pray with their eyes closed at all times, but the veil allows them to symbolically pray with their eyes closed while keeping them open.
This seems very inefficient.
Yeah.
That is not good lab safety practices. We prefer goggles. But this will work fine for our needs. The child that we are buying this for as a gift will love this.
Deception check. It isn't like a cloth veil, to be fair. It is a chain veil.
This is 6.
That's even more dangerous.
This could get hot.
6.
That's a demon pact.
I'm not going to judge. You all enjoy yourselves. And he just kind of like...
We are not giving Rash the chain veil.
No. She's not going to be in the actual smelting. The chain veil is good.
This is fine. What do we owe you?
Power.
It's going to be... it is 5 gold pieces for the outfit. A little bit expensive, I know, but...
5 gold pieces?
5 credits, I apologize. Sometimes I forget that I am in a credit economy and not a gold economy any longer.
How old are you, Fabricio Shady? Society has not used gold coins for, millennia.
Well,
you are being culturally insensitive.
My family and I once made a deal with a very fashion-forward devil.
To do what? Be stuck using outdated currency for centuries after it is appropriate to do
I've simply been alive for a very long time.
I haven't been around that long, and I am really learned about...
You are a fascinating fellow, Fabricio Shady.
Did I not mention that Mau are functionally immortal? Did I not mention that?
You might have. You know what? I think you just moved right on past that.
I only learned about credits, like months ago. We didn't use gold at home.
Oh,
Though.
I
We didn't
did
have
not
to
even
buy
have
anything.
credits until recently.
Well, I mean, I used gold for many years.
I
There
didn't need to buy
was.
anything.
It is fine. I can pay the 5 gold.
I mean,
5 fuck.
it is important.
All right, Evie. What are you? How ancient are you, Evie? Using outdated
No,
currency,
I
Evie.
apologize. That is me in my outdated knowledge becoming contagious. I apologize for that. No, but in all
Ignorance
seriousness,
is a disease.
I do know that there is at least one other merchant in the galaxy that uses gold. She has a lovely traveling shop. It is a tower that she ripped from her own homeworld.
Oh, I remember the sweet lady. But Evie is less interested in that than I am. All right.
Just
Well,
planting the
here
seeds.
are your 5 credits. Thank you for your shop. I hope you get some signage.
Yes, toodaloo, enjoy yourselves. Have a good day. Oh, please enjoy some hard candies on the way out. And you're like,
Oh. I will, thank you. I take some hard candies.
yeah, there's all different flavors. There's like a cheese flavor, there's a grape, there's an orange citrus, there's like a whole bunch. There's a clay flavor.
Leonard does not try the clay flavor.
I grab it for Darius.
He seems like a
Evie
salted
grabs like
peanut
either like a
kinda guy.
strawberry or a watermelon or like a cherry for herself and then goes, Darius would like this one.
Darius, you are just finishing up the morning prayers. This morning you were asked to lead the group in prayer. So everyone was brought into the room. You all formed the Mau prayer circle. Each of you took your hammers and your mini anvils and you began to pray together.
I don't think we need to go into detail. We can just like fade to black on the prayer.
And Darius, after the ceremony, a number of the younger Mau and other like priests in training come up to you and wish to pick your ear for a bit. A number of them who have met you.
A weird shit.
Very much look up to you, and they're asking, Master Darius, please do tell us about your far wander so far. Has there been any sights? Has the spark led you to any great discoveries? Are you able to keep up with your prayers, or do others frown upon it?
I just have to say, I believe the expression is bend your ear, not pick your ear. That's a very different visual.
It is.
First of all, younglings, I should mention, again, as always, you do not need to refer to me as master. Senior is fine. I have attained no mastery in any subject as of yet, and you should save that level of respect for those who have possibly returned from their far wander or have labored here in humble work for many decades. They are deserving of your respect.
Even the Master Council was speaking about you. They even had turned down someone who had returned from their far wander in favor of you taking the spot when you arrived.
Well, I know little of that, and I shall not speak to it. In regards to my travels specifically, I would say I still have many paths to walk. I have yet to truly acquire my own great moment of inspiration, but I feel I am working towards something. I cannot quite see the form of it yet, but I trust in the spark, and I believe it will illuminate the path when it is needed.
All right.
We always have to remember, young ones, that at many times it can seem like you have put your labors into folly or into something not worthwhile until the very end, where all the pieces finally come together. A task seems to become more than its collective parts when all finally assembled. It's an important lesson to learn, and it is important to remind yourself of this, because until you have experienced this many times, it can be hard to imagine and seems just like something that the masters say. But I can assure you that it is true. Keep the faith, keep to the path, keep your belief in the spark strong, and it will guide you.
That is inspiring, Senior Darius. You see them slip up, but they corrected. And they kind of just bow their heads, and one of them just says, let us go and pray and reflect on this. And they all kind of nod, and they all head out to go pray some more.
I just kind of say after them, this may seem rich coming from me, but do not become too lost in prayer. I know it can be a heady experience at times, but do not neglect your practical work.
They just kind of nod and they head off. It's at this moment that Nito kind of comes up towards you, Darius. That was quite the invigorating session, Darius.
Well, it has been a while since we have all been together for prayer on the Homeworld. Brings back a lot of fond memories.
And at this point, you and Nito are now the only two left in the room.
I see those eyebrows, McKenna.
Darius, do you think your friends will be able to help other people? Do you think your friends will be able to help other people?
He's got to think about it.
They're praying in the other room.
No, at this point.
This is a gold mine that just mines itself.
Oh yeah, it does.
I have great faith in my friends. I believe that it was, in a way, a brief illumination of the spark that brought our paths together.
I do hope so. And maybe you will run off on them. I feel as though, perhaps even one day, at the very least, maybe Vim might enjoy prayer.
I feel that there are many things in Vim's future that he will have to become comfortable with before he perhaps finds himself in prayer.
That is fair.
With himself or with anyone else.
Rose get a hero point for that.
I hate that I can't see any of the chats tonight.
Well, Rose just said, well, he's getting to be a teenager. It's at that point. Does our away team want to head back, or are you still going to explore the city for a bit longer?
I would be fine heading back, but if we happen upon a cute little coffee shop or something of that like.
There is like a very cute coffee shop. It's a Spire coffee shop. And like, as basically there's an elevator that brings you up to the top. You are seated at a table at the top as a group. You put in your order, and the table begins descending the spiral slowly, giving you like a full view of the city.
This is nice.
As it is descending, your coffee and a breakfast is brought up to you, depending on whatever you ordered. They have a variety of fruits available. And there is also like imagine a Mau, but with shoes that appears to just allow them to walk on air. That's what all the wait staff here are wearing. and a number of them come up. As you are all going down, you see a few tables with a single Mau on them that have these like dark black veils hanging over their body and over their head. It's like, imagine like a shaggy dog, except just like black cloth. There's one specifically. Luna, we cannot hear you.
You think Darius wants those shoes?
He could get some good use out of them, but I don't think
Think
they're
about
for
it. He wouldn't have to use the ladders anymore.
I mean, he doesn't use the ladders as it is. We need to get
But this would make it easier.
That's true.
Careful, you may have to win a hoedown to get those shoes.
Have it be stolen by bandits. Go watch the League of Amazing Adventurers Wild Ambition on Wednesday night. Anyway. As your waiter notices you looking at that Mau, they just say, they are in mourning.
Oh. For...
He had lost his mate.
Oh. Are the shoes traditional for morning wear?
No, that Mau does not have shoes. This is your waiter telling you, like, the Mau draped in black.
But the one in the veil with the
Yeah.
black cloth.
Yeah.
I was looking at the waiters with the floaty shoes. I was not staring at the mourner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
my
apologies.
That's as sad
What are
as that is. What would it take for us to get those shoes, yo?
To get one of these, like, waiter shoes?
Yeah, he's
Well-
asking
Is that
Vin's
what they
just asking the
are?
waiter.
Yeah, these are, yes, this is part of our uniform that we wear
You
here.
have a spare set that we could buy?
I mean, yeah, they're quite expensive. They're 100,000 credits.
That seems impractical for
Well,
you
we
to
share.
give your wait staff.
We share them between shifts.
Maybe your
But do you
workplace
not,
could
will
provide
you
them
not
for
earn
you.
more if you just
No, they do.
left
The workplace.
job with the shoes and sold the shoes elsewhere and then retired?
Oh, they would send bounty hunters after us.
Those are easily dealt with, though. Especially if you have 100,000 credits.
You would be surprised. There is, one.
I wouldn't.
There is one company of bounty hunters that this particular coffee shop's owners hire quite often when things go missing.
This
seems like a very sketchy coffee shop.
Yeah, what is with this place? Okay, yeah. Oh,
Nice
I've
though.
never
Maybe
heard
it's
of a restaurant
normal.
that gives their employees anything worth 100,000 credits.
Well, they make them share it.
Yeah.
Still.
That's still very strange. Because I'm sure they'd all have different paw sizes. That's so weird.
Oh yeah, they do. But magical items. What do magical items do when you attune to
Yeah.
them?
Okay, magical item or no, it's I don't share work shoes with people. That's fucking weird.
but are your work shoes magical, McKenna?
Maybe. What would you know about it?
I mean, even boots of flying only have like a 500
That's right.
GP.
Oh,
We'll
these
get-
are boots. These aren't boots of flying though. These are boots.
No. I'm just saying that like boots that let you fly.
We'll get better boots elsewhere.
To be fair, you need 2 sets of boots of flying for a Mau.
The
That's
magic
still only
items.
1,000. Where's the other 999?
Inflation.
The 1% of. I play
One of
these
the
games
years,
to get
very
away from that
interesting.
bullshit.
And the magic things that keep them odorless.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens.
That's a spray
Oh, yeah.
bottle.
Vin waits for like the waiter to not be around. It's like, and this is why sometimes you don't ask, you just take.
I'm not going to take the waiter's shoes, Vim.
They would fall.
Once, and then they'd be fine.
It is a very tall coffee shop.
Okay, you do it when they're low.
Anyway, Should we pay for our food and?
Oh, it's paid for at the top. You've already paid.
Oh.
Yeah. It's also like not a paying thing. It's once again Darius's world. Like other than like artisanal goods, like these type of mass goods, the like government pays for. In general, in the galaxy, if you're not in the Marred Poppy system, most like food and drink that isn't like recreational alcohol is covered by like government.
Interesting. Okay, I'll take some free food. Goddamn. Chat telling us to take his shoes. We're not taking. Listen, y'all need to be nicer to your waiters. Tip your waiters. Unless in this utopian world, tipping is not a thing.
I mean, it's
Well,
Do their
as we
waiters a living wage?
as we discovered, we wouldn't actually be stealing from the waiter; we'd be stealing from the restaurant.
I mean, it's a thing.
That's true.
Tipping's a thing, but it's more like it is actually an extra thing. Like people are paid, like to give you the equivalency. If these waiters were like LA waiters, they'd be making like $25 an hour.
It's decent.
Plus tips.
And they do this job just because they like interacting
How
with
many
people.
hours? How many hours are they getting?
40.
Yeah.
That's the.
Okay.
Yeah, full time.
We'll work there.
Full time work. Not understaffed. Like there's a good amount of waiters. If you need to like take a break, like 3 weeks of paid time off a year, 2 weeks of forced vacation every year.
And Darius stays at a monastery. This planet's
Darius has
weird.
never been paid a wage in his life.
That's almost kind of impressive. Live in a world where you don't
This is a
need to
fantasy
work.
world.
Well, all this.
He also can carry all the possessions he owns in a bag on his
Yeah,
back.
because
So
here's the thing: like
Oh.
the vast majority of these planets provide housing and food for the people. Any
Yeah,
money that you're
I guess
making
so.
is purely used to pursue your own hobbies and your own advancement.
I guess it wouldn't be wages the money we've made because we made money for like contract work.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy my free coffee
Yeah,
and
that's
this
nice.
fancy little coffee place.
They have like this like lovely like latte art that's like a little like Mau-pow.
a what?
A Mau-pow.
Mau
A
paw.
Mau-pow.
Yeah, a Mau-pow. Mau-pow.
That sounds like a faux pas.
You just like instinctually pronounce them the same.
Mau-pow.
It's a faux pas. It's a mo pas.
It's a faux pas. Oh, okay, that was good,
Mau-pow.
Rose.
now, we don't talk about the foes since their planet was destroyed. It's very rude.
Oh,
It's fine. They were all demon beasts.
not the Mao faux blood wars. We're getting into the deep lore now, y'all.
Rose.
Yeah,
I need to
we
make
should probably.
foes. I need to make foes in 5e now.
Oh.
Yup.
Yep. Anyway,
Okay,
it's McKenna's
let's. Sure. You know what? Fine. We should probably get back. We've got a goblin to dress up.
That's the name of the episode. Dressing up a goblin. Goblin in children's clothes. There we go. It's like a wolf's in sheep clothes. Anyway, so you all make your way back to the monastery. Darius, the morning prayers have finished. Everyone is out. People have begun smithing and praying alone. You are basically given the way of the monastery. What does Darius do post prayer? What's Darius's post prayer ritual? Like, do you like to take a shower after? Do you like to go grab some heavy cream milk? Like, what's Darius's stuff?
Smoke a
Well,
cigarette.
certainly he needs to drink a glass of water because it can be a little tiring. You need to rehydrate. Always need to get those fluids back. Now I'm playing into it. You have no one to blame but yourselves.
I know.
But no, after prayer, after trying to, become closer with the spark, you want to put that the energy to good use. You go to the forge, to the smithy, to a workshop to try and work through maybe a problem you've been having with some bit of machinery or craft you've been working on. Try and bring that inspiration into your work.
Darius, as is your first day
Yes.
back at the monastery, you have been given basically special permission. There's an outdoor forge at like the base of the monastery that's like slightly raised above the others that others can see. You've been given permission to use that forge for the day. It is a great honor.
On one paw, Darius is a little uncomfortable with that. On the other paw, it is very useful to get to use that forge.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he goes out there, and he hesitates for a moment, and then he pulls out of his bag the little like armored covers he's been working on for the saddlebags that will give them like cover. It's almost like a little parapet for the saddlebag thing, so he can like it'll be like a little castle tower he can shoot out of with like a little murder hole or something. So Darius will become a little mobile Vim fortress.
Okay.
Working on that.
Fair enough. You all see Darius working on something when you re-enter the monastery. And you see like a number of like the smaller smiths, like the younger smiths. They have like their own like hammer work that they're doing on like smaller forges that surround this one. And as Darius is working, they're like doing their work and then looking up at Darius and doing their work and then looking up at Darius.
Are you done working yet?
Oh God. In a bit, maybe. How was your
How
day?
many?
How many bits?
Give me a half hour.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You just sit and watch.
Yeah, you sit and watch.
That's uncomfortable.
As Darius, as you continue to forge it, you won't be able to finish it today, but you make good progress. McKenna, can Evie, Luna, and Vim make me a perception check?
No.
No. Vim, you see a Mau as like more and more like as Darius is working, more and more of the younger Mau kind of like move over towards Darius's forge to watch them work. And Darius, you're putting on a good show. You're working. Darius is like sweating, and like as they hit the hammer, it's like in perfect sync with like the magical enchantment. It is.
Is this what it looks like when Darius is showing off?
Yeah, it's still going.
Darius would never show off.
I think Darius is showing off, guys.
And Darius, as you continue to work, more and more of the young Mau kind of are surrounding. Vim, you notice that as like the young Mau are leaving, one of the older Mau kind of looks towards Darius, and they stop working and they basically clean up after themselves, and they exit the monastery in a bit of a huff.
That guy was not happy.
He's about Darius's age. Maybe like 1 or 2 months older, probably based by the looks of it, but he's about Darius's age.
If any of the other while they're like kind of watching or starting to, Vim's just gonna catch up. It's like, hey, real quick.
Yes, brother Vim.
Who? Okay, then who's that guy?
Oh, yes, that is Chandradar.
Okay.
Chandra, Chandradar.
Okay.
They left
on the New Hampshire Chandradars.
They left on their far wander a few months before Darius and have recently returned.
Like they finished?
Yes, they finished their farm wander a few months ago. And they were unfortunately denied the title of master by the masters.
Oh, what does that mean? When you
Insert Star Wars meme.
What does that
Don't
mean
you start comparing this mob story
exactly?
to Star Wars, or bad things are going to happen.
Well, the children are already.
Being kidnapped is better than genocided.
Are you here to save us? Wait, if somebody doesn't get master, does that?
They continue to work as a senior. They just simply do not advance in rank. Master is a rank only attainable by a very few. Many people have high hopes for Darius attaining that rank.
Okay, so it's not something that like, oh, that person didn't make master. Everybody points and laughs behind their back.
No, it is it is a sad effect. We all hope for everyone to succeed. We all hope for people to attain the apex of their craft. It is just simply not able for some.
Okay, so is it a situation where somebody doesn't attain master and you're like, oh, bless their heart?
I mean, I suppose so. I am not familiar with that euphemism, but...
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out if that's something that somebody might grow, I don't know, bitter over.
It is someone who has reached the pinnacle of their talent and craft who may not necessarily be a master of it. That is simply all it is.
Okay.
They have reached their apex, and it is not necessarily the apex of the craft itself.
All right. Thanks a lot. You've been helpful. And gets back. Some kind of looks. Darius says, "Hey, you might want to watch out for that Chandrajar guy.
Darius, this guy's been with you the entirety of your time at the temple. You both came in and both began apprenticeship at the same time. You've both been working. You've both worked side to side. He's always come in second to you. But he's been kind enough to you. Like he doesn't hate you. It's just he's always been in second place.
I mean, I don't keep track of things like that.
I'm just saying,
we're all in this together.
The first place winner never does.
Yeah, you know who does. You know who does keep track of things like that? Bitter people.
People in second place.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
just saying. Watch out before you get a hammer upside the head. All I'm saying.
Yes, Nito.
I mean, that's not how you use a hammer.
It depends on what your
goal is.
Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to do with it.
Vim, you will hear Nito's voice in your head as she's cast a messaging spell to just send you something quickly. And she basically states, "Yes, Darius was quite competitive in the monastery. There was a number of us who, very much fought over becoming their mate."
Oh.
Vim Fink responds, hoping that that's how this works. This is like, yeah, I can tell he's in his element now, and he's being a little bit of a show off. Yeah. I get it.
There was a time when Darius performed a master crafting feat. He made two blades simultaneously, having hammers in each hand.
Is Darius like? I don't know how to judge Mau attractiveness standards, but is Darius like a hottie?
Yes, very much so.
Is Darius a Mau himbo?
Darius is a Mau 10 out of 10.
A mimbo.
This is good to know. Thank you.
And he's humble about
fascinating information.
He's so humble about it. He denies it vehemently whenever it's said, and that's part of the charm. It just draws more people to him.
Bim is not going to say this to her because while he doesn't have
this is the funniest thing you've ever done, Will.
He doesn't have full. Bim doesn't have full grasp of the whole relationship dynamics. It's just not a sphere that he puts his head into, but he is aware that it would be awkward to say this to Nito. But Vim is fully in his head now, and it's like, okay, if we ever have an issue with a Mau or somebody who might be attracted to Mau, we can use Darius as bait or a distraction.
But find a way to weaponize hotness.
Oh yeah,
am I in a honey pot?
You certainly could be.
God damn it! He's the Daphne.
I think I
He's
need
not
to
gonna
go
say
pray
Messes
about
up the
this.
whole fucking goddamn.
He's not going to say this to
Damn it.
Nito.
No, he
He's
can
not
be
going to say
Fred.
this to Nito,
He could
but-
absolutely be Fred, the himbo.
but he is going to bring it up to. But he is already planning on bringing it up to Evie and Rash, because he also knows that Rash would be all in on this plan.
All right. So, Darius, you finish up your work. The youths disperse for their afternoon prayers, and
Blissfully ignorant of everything that was just discussed.
completely ignorant of it. Yes, Nito's also gone off to pray with her family.
And it just looks so
Don't.
I don't know why you
Right.
guys
Don't.
Get it.
Like as
Don't.
soon as he added it, I just looked straight to McKenna, and then it was not disappoint.
Go Darius. Get it.
Everybody else gets dramatic, depressing backstories, and mine is the planet of innuendos, apparently.
I think it has to be partially because Darius is so serious that this is just extra funny.
I mean, juxtaposition is the essence of comedy.
Yes, I mean, there's also the rule of threes, so I'm waiting for that third shoe to drop.
Well, they have 4 feet, so wait for
I was going to say, I wear 4 shoes. I don't wear
It's the
shoes.
rule of threes.
Are the shoes
though.
dropping from the coffee tower? Are we getting them?
We should dress up Grandma Rash. We got you this dress. It is pink and has fringe. I am told that is
Oh,
custom.
thank you, dearie. Oh,
That's not the rash face.
grandmother. What big teeth you have?
What big frying pan you have.
What blonde hair you have?
oh, thank you, Mushka.
Grandma Rash always calls me Pudding. Who are you?
Oh, thank you, Pudding.
Imposter! Darius!
She's already been
Thank
kidnapped
you.
and replaced.
Look at that accent in there. Like,
Oh,
it's-
thank you. Oh,
Pudding.
thank you, Pudding. It's getting worse. It's
Closer.
getting worse.
Thank you, Pudding.
I love it.
I will go and get changed. How
I
starting to
have this
sound like-
veil for you too.
Oh, it's a chain veil. How lovely.
She turns Irish.
Do not use it for evil.
Oh, no, I would never dream of it.
What
Okay.
evil root? The
Chain wheels are for evil.
Rose is
Oh,
having
okay,
Magic
sure.
the Gathering flashbacks.
Okay, sure. Maybe, yeah, stay away from them when they're doing their forge stuff, because that's gotta hurt.
The burning is part of the ritual.
Oh, and
Yikes.
Rash, I have this for you. It is a sending stone. You think a message of 25 words or less, and I will receive it on this end.
So you hear O's. Do you hear it like this then?
I suppose the answer is yes.
That's not how they worked in the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
We're homebrewing this shit, man. We don't play by the rules here. We're fucking rebels.
And so were they.
Druids turning into owl bears?
Yeah, exactly. I have
I mean,
never played a
there are some
game of...
monstrosities.
I have never played a game of Dungeons and Dragons where sending stones worked as written. They've always just been magic cell phones
Walkie-talkies.
that you use at will as many times you want. I don't care if that's game breaking. I think that's how it should be. And I give one to Rash. I say I made it myself.
Oh, thank you, Pudding. Oh, here, let me give you
You're
something in return. She hands you a Tupperware full of cookies.
Thank
That's
you.
the rash I know.
I taste one. She's not an imposter. This is definitely Rash's cooking. Well,
Stow
I
my
suppose-
daggers away.
Oh, hey, Ben, make me a con save.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
He just splits open. He's a beautiful butterfly.
Vim, take a point of exhaustion.
Yep.
Oh no.
All right.
That's going to come in
Mhm.
handy tonight. Let me
Really questioning my whole plan of summoning
Oh.
a bird and flying into the air, but
Concerned Vim, you're looking a little tired. Have you been praying?
No. Oh yeah. So no, definitely not praying. Uh, I don't know. I might be like a dream god or something. Like, add things to
Great.
the list. Yeah. Uh,
He's really tired, guys. He's spouting nonsense.
why, in your scientific opinion, do you think you might be a dream god?
okay. That wasn't the terms used. That's what I got out of it. Uh, but yeah. Last night, Mother Myrtle told me I was a miracle of sleep, and
Last night?
yeah. Went to sleep here. Woke
Was
up
she
at
here?
home. Nope, I was there. Uh,
Oh, so
and
you had a dream.
I don't think yes and no.
Oh,
I
I also do not think a lot of the time.
it it was a dream in the sense that it was an experience while I was asleep, but it was not a dream in the sense that I was conscious somewhere else. And I'm pretty positive stuff was actually happening.
You don't think there's
I
any possibility that this was just something that you dreamed because you missed Mother Myrtle?
Uh I don't think that that's what this was. I I did ask her about the doctor, and basically uh I was the only thing that she worked on him with. Um I mean, my arc or whatever, but he sucks. So, like, he doesn't really count for anything. Uh
That's so out of character. Holy shit. She didn't even mention my arc.
well,
No, she
That's
mentioned.
she mentioned that the doctor took like their son, but then that's all she said about him. Uh yeah, he doesn't really count for anything, so it's like whatever. He's not important. But
that's true. He's not.
yeah, but uh, she was not aware of you or Luna.
That does sound accurate given what little we know of her, but also that is not outside the realm of possibility for you to have produced in your subconscious, given that this is what we know of Mother Myrtle.
Well, I didn't make Mother Myrtle. Mother Myrtle made me.
Yes, but you might have still dreamed about her. That is how subconscious works.
We. I mean, well, now we're getting into an infinite regression of us just making each other exist, so that seems weird. That doesn't seem
Do you
right.
not normally dream?
No.
Oh, that is interesting. What makes you think that this was not just a dream?
Uh, it was very real. Um, and like she gave me a gift, and I have it. So
Oh, what was the gift?
I got 3 fingers now.
Oh,
All the locks.
can I see them?
Yes, and just like when Tim's holding his fingers, they do move. That's what the fingers do.
And Will, just checking in with you, I see all three.
Yeah, you see all three.
Oh, that is interesting. That is not just a dream then.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Well, did she say anything else?
Kind of. And it could be a little concerning, but I think this might be one of those things where she knows some things, but not everything applies.
Like what?
Like, there was the implication that things that the doctor created after me had like built-in loyalty to him. That if it didn't, if they broke off of that, bad things would happen. But I don't think that quite works because EVB kind of did break away from him, and she got kind of weird at the end, but she didn't like stop existing or implode or fall apart or anything.
Dr. Tolatia was a good person. I don't think he would do something like that.
I fully believe he would
I don't
do
feel
something
compelled
like
to
that.
be loyal to him. I just think he's a good person.
All evidence to the contrary.
To be fair, if you were compelled, would you be aware of it? Concerned.
I imagine I would be to a certain extent if it was like a logical fallacy to be. Do you see what I mean?
A logical fallacy, like being really loyal to somebody who has demonstrably lied to you and left you without explanation, and
But there was an explanation.
was there really though?
Yes. He said he needed to get supplies for his next experiment, and that I should stay here for now. My concern is that Myark was lying.
Is that an explanation?
Yes.
Yeah, he just went out
By
for space
definition?
cigarettes. He'll be back.
No, but I don't think that
Literally.
even by definition, I don't think that's an explanation. I think that's just a command.
No, because a command would have just been, wait here. The explanation was, I need to go get supplies.
Okay, so here's the thing. What about you means can't get supplies?
Sometimes supplies for experiments are volatile. Sometimes the location that you may find them in is not safe.
You handle
There are a
non-safe
myriad
places
of
just
reasons.
fine.
Well, now I do, yes. But him wanting to keep me safe and me having the ability to handle myself in dangerous situations can exist independently of one another as concepts.
Well, he seems really keen on the whole existing independently thing.
He does not have a way to contact me since I was ejected from the ship that he left me with. So
I would think that a man of his means would figure it out.
Maybe.
I'm just saying, in this family tree, from where I'm sitting, the only good branch is Mother Myrtle. What's that expression mean?
I think that is
Evie?
a leap of logic.
In what way?
Personally, in the way that she also abandoned her own son.
No, the doctor took him.
You would think a woman of her means would have a way to fix that.
As much as I enjoy round conversations, there are children missing.
Yes, Rash is getting changed as we speak.
Rash has now come out. Oh, I look so young again. This reminds me of my days when I was first joining the Goblin Hordes. We had a massive party before leaving, out on deployment.
Is she Italian now?
Every accent under the sun.
And hey, it was a good time.
It's amazing. me, your Rash, your grandma.
It's
How
me,
you
Rash,
doing,
your
Puddin'?
grandma. How you doing,
I mean,
Puddin'?
hey,
Hey, I'm
nobody
walking
Get a
here.
call.
Nobody calling you Puddin'.
Okay. Well, I have some spells to cast, some traps to lay. If anyone else wants to do
Any prep work?
any prep work, yeah, we have options.
The only thing I have is my summon beast, but I kind of need to do that like closer to the time because it only lasts for an hour.
Yes, snare lasts 8 hours, and I believe alarm has a similarly lengthy time
So the
duration.
children's monastery
is
room
that?
is like a room on the side of the monastery. There are 4 windows, and there are 2 doors. There's a number of bunk beds, each one of them having an anvil and a privacy curtain.
Okay.
You know, for those late nights of prayer. And yeah.
Okay, so
How big is this room?
It is 45 by 25.
45 by 25. Okay.
Yeah, 45 feet long, 25 feet wide.
how does your alarm work?
Let me read you the
Yeah, that
Parker.
thing.
Let me
And
read you the
everything
description
is-
for alarm.
Everything in the room is immaculate when you get in there. It looks like it's been completely untouched. As they said earlier, basically the children all just disappeared one night.
Oh, so all of them are gone.
Yes, it is. It is an empty room.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, the description for alarm is you set an alarm against an unwanted intrusion. Choose a door, window, or area within a range that is no larger than a 20-foot cube. Until the spell ends, an alarm alerts you whenever a tiny or larger creature enters your warded area. When you cast the spell, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. You also choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. A mental alarm alerts you with a ping in your mind. If you are within 1 mile of the warded area, this ping awakens you if you are sleeping. An audible alarm produces the sound of a handbell for 10 seconds within 60 feet. That's what we're working with for alarm. For snare, this is a little bit longer. Also, alarm lasts for 8 hours, range area of 30 feet. Casting time takes 11 minutes, which is oddly specific. Casting time for snare, 1 minute, duration 8 hours. As you cast this spell, you use the rope to create a circle with a 5-foot radius on the ground or the floor. When you finish casting, the rope disappears and the circle becomes a magic trap. This trap is nearly invisible, requiring a successful intelligence check against your spell save DC to be discerned. That is an intelligence check, not save. The trap triggers when a small, medium, or large creature moves onto the ground or the floor in the spell's radius. That creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be magically hoisted into the air, leaving it hanging upside down 3 feet above the ground or the door. The creature is restrained there until the spell ends. A restrained creature can make a dexterity saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect itself on a success. Alternatively, the creature or someone else who can reach it can use an action to make an intelligence check against your spell save DC. On a success, the restrained effect ends. After the trap is triggered, the spell ends when no creature is restrained by it. That's what we got.
So I was thinking of being like outside or on the roof or something as like look out and then but the alarm only pinging you in your mind
I can also just make a loud sound.
or it can just make a loud sound because it only takes an action to cast Summon Beast. So I could do it like immediately once the alarm goes off so I can be in case whatever it is like gets out the window. And I can at least at the very least get an idea of where it's headed. Yeah, it would have to be the audible sound though, because if it's just in your mind, there'd be no way
Yes.
to.
I can do that. I can make it the audible one.
I could also make Evie a little bell, so when she hears the thing in her mind, she rings a bell.
That seems a roundabout way to
Yeah,
do
you're
the
right.
same thing. Unless you have something louder than the sound of a bell.
Could be 2 frying pans or a pot and pan. That's pretty loud.
That is pretty loud. Regardless, where do you think we should set the snare? Because that we only have about 5 feet for.
Um, so there was nobody thought, nobody like saw any type of intruder or anything. So it would seem that they're not like coming through the halls. So maybe at a window?
Mild suggestion. Perhaps, so we keep all this detail fresh in our minds, we should set the trap up at the start of the next session, especially with Rash here.
We're going. Rash
Or
is
not
going.
Rash here.
Rash is not going to
Yeah.
be here for like next few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say setting up on the window could make sense. It sounds like y'all actually have a pretty solid plan, right? Put the alarm on, wait outside, and have Rash basically rest in the bed as a child.
Considering the goal here is to get Rash out of the game for a few weeks, this may be a problematically decent play. We may be overthinking this.
I mean,
a
the
bit.
thing is, if the thing flies, it immediately bypasses the snare.
Yeah.
Which is all, but
spell.
And either way, it's actually in a way that's also good because if it is on the ground and I need to come in, if I'm on the beast, I can fly into the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
I won't get captured.
Vim, where are you going to burrow up?
I guess like the roof just above
Okay.
this room.
All right. You can do that.
And I don't know how the roof is set up. If I need something kind of like
no, you can get up
covering
there via,
a little.
You can get up there via like a window, and you can make like a little camouflage area
Yeah,
for
just
yourself.
covering up a little bit.
Yeah. Evie, where are you going to be?
Is there a place in the kids' room where I can hide easily?
It's a very blank, boring room.
I mean, well, I don't know. You're like a plasmoid. Could
Yeah,
she
you
just
could
like
just...
kind of
Is there a-
We could
flatten herself?
we could bring an urn in here,
Yeah.
just like a pot. Put it
I
in
was
the corner.
thinking of just like shaping yourself
There's
under
me.
a bed.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
You could totally do
'Cause,
that.
Like you could pretty much form yourself to kind of where you'd be hidden by like the bottom of the bed and the legs and everything.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and just make myself gray.
Have
Yeah.
Hold on a tick. Would it be possible for you to change your shape to be almost rope-like and wrap yourself around Rash inside the blankets or something?
We're
These
not
are in
trying to
bed.
get rid of McKenna
Yeah.
for a few weeks too, Matt.
You could totally do that, McKenna, if you want to like have like an extra layer of safety.
Just an idea.
Make an Evie.
I suppose I could do that.
Now you're thinking with plasmoids.
I am. Well, because I was thinking originally I would just do under the bed like what you were saying. But that trick with Rash is a pretty good failsafe. All right, yes, we can do that, but someone else should hang on to the other end of my sending stone. Because sending 2 people with the sending stones is silly.
Yeah, maybe Darius should take the other one.
Sure.
That sounds... Well, it depends, because you are planning on being the more mobile one of us. But I know out of character that you look so tired.
Well, in character, you can probably tell he's
Yeah.
He's winding down a little bit too.
Luna, where are you going to be based?
Whatever she's told.
All right. Darius, where are you going to be based? Probably have Luna and Darius to be better.
My question was, the windows for this. Is this on like a second or third level of a monastery? Or is it a ground level?
This is on the second level.
I almost want to suggest we have at least one person maybe just waiting outside the hall or something, and then maybe in the event that they're not flying or something, have one person down on the grounds to maybe intercept if they flee through the grounds or something.
Mm-hmm.
I would be happy to do it on the ground because on solid ground I can reach a decent speed. Like I've got a movement of 40 feet, but I'm also kind of big and a little harder to hide, maybe.
Darius, you going to hide behind the monastery wall then with Luna? That could work.
Sure.
All right. So, night comes, and you all begin to wait. Vim, make me another con save. Vim, you drift away back to Mother Myrtle.
Hiding.
Oh, Vim! You fall asleep again, but do not worry, I have a nice breakfast for you.
We were totally in the middle of something.
Oh, you were having a lovely little dream, weren't you?
I guess you could call it that. I guess everything's a dream and nothing's a dream.
We're going to cut away from that for a second. Now to the night. Evie and Luna, can the two of you make me a perception check? Darius, you cannot make this perception check.
Was an investigation check.
No, perception. Because Darius
Okay, that's a 14.
and a 7. Evie, you hear humming. Come to me, my child. Come to me. Mother is waiting to tuck you into bed. And as you hear that humming, Rash turns into a mist.
A mist?
A mist. And the mist just floats wearily out the window. You see Rash, basically like Mist Rash, recapitulates on the street, and you see her walking towards some sort of hooded Mau figure at the end of the street, and you see a number of other children just appearing on the street as if turned to mist, and then foomp, 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 foomp.
I would like to trip my own alarm to alert Vim.
Okay. Vim, make me a perception check with disadvantage. Vim,
13?
you get a little bit of a headache in Mother Myrtle's in like at home, and it's a little bit uncomfortable for a moment, but the moment passes.
Damn it.
But Evie, you can peek out the window. You can see a Rash walking towards this hooded figure, and you see them basically take their hand. Like, you see one of the children in front of Rash take her hand, and then they just disappear.
Did Rash take the sending stone with her?
Yes, Rash has the sending stone.
Okay.
Any items that were on Rash are on Rash still. You see another child clasp this creature's hand, and it disappears. Make me a perception check.
Oh boy. Nope, it's 3.
Yeah.
You know what? It's 909. I'm gonna hero point it. I'm hero
Do
pointing it. Okay, 14.
You
That's
see
as good as
in the
it's gonna
palm
get.
of this creature's hand, after every child takes their hand, there's this like little marble that's left in their hand. You see then Rash put their hand on this creature's hand, and then disappears.
Can I run down there?
As you begin to run down there, do you alert Darius and Luna?
Yeah, if they're in a convenient spot for me to
Yeah, they
get
are.
them
You
on the way
can
out.
you can just like pop open a window quickly and say, "Yo."
Yo.
Um,
That thing that Evie says all the time.
Yeah,
you
Evie's
know,
favorite catchphrase. Yo.
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Um,
Yo.
as
Which
you
is
say
a-
that, Darius, Luda, and the two of you start to like spring into action. This creature notices you, and the hood comes down, and you see a Mau's face. Where the Mau ears are, there are two basically where there is on their like left ear, there is like a part of their left ear missing at the bottom.
Ooh.
And then Maus normally only have two hands, but this Mau appears to have four, as it's kind of like pulling out an extra set of hands. And that's where we're going to end. That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Does whatever Spider-Man
As
does.
the
Yeah, that's 8 legs total. 8 limbs.
That's 8 limbs. As the Moustrosity begins to notice you.
I know exactly what you're referencing, Matthew. I'm sorry, the way you replicated that face was so spot on.
So, thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of The Astral Calling. Don't forget to check out our many other shows. And don't forget to come and join us next week as we delve more into this Mouspiracy.
Let's see what else it has 8 of.
You know, the more hands you have, the more you can pray.
That's
And
so
thank you all so much for coming. Don't forget to check out those other shows, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.